This episode opens inside an underground boxing ring, where two young fighters brutally clash while a roaring crowd surrounds them. One of the fighters is Casper, a homeless young man trying to survive. His opponent is Vin. Vin ultimately knocks him down and wins the match, leaving Casper barely conscious. But the real violence begins after the fight. Outside the boxing center, Casper is confronted by an angry man who bet money on the match. Furious that Casper ruined his payout, he violently attacks him. Vin sees what's happening and immediately steps in to defend him. His friends, Sonny and Jet, rush to help. The beating is brutal, and Jet's arm is badly injured during the fight. Just when things seem hopeless, a mysterious stranger steps in. He takes down the attacker and kidnaps him in a van, leaving Vin, Sonny, Jet, and Casper lying on the floor of the street. Meanwhile, across Trinity City, Detective Jin Silver, an officer with Trinity City Security, arrives at a grisly murder scene inside a small apartment. The victim has been shot in the back of the head. At first glance, the case appears simple. Security footage shows the victim's girlfriend entering the building and leaving with the murder weapon. Standing at the scene with Jin is Detective Alex Gage. To him, the footage is proof enough that the girlfriend committed the murder. The suspect has already been arrested, and the investigation is essentially closed. But Jin isn't convinced. He points out something disturbing about the footage. A pattern he has noticed in several recent murders. In every case, the killer casually walks past security cameras without hiding their face, sometimes even smiling directly into them. Yet, when they're arrested, they swear they have no memory of committing the crime. Something far more disturbing is happening. Someone or something may be controlling people to commit these killings. And if that's true, the real killer is out there. Back at the Remembrance Temple, Vin and his friends recover from the fight. But instead of praise for helping Casper, Vin faces the wrath of Jamandah. Vin snaps back, revealing the frustration he's been carrying since his father's death. The argument escalates until Jamandah slaps him across the face. Hurt and furious, Vin storms out of the room. Elsewhere in the city, Jin's investigation takes a personal turn when a woman named Rena Knox approaches him with a desperate request. She wants help finding her daughter, who disappeared years ago after a horrifying tragedy. Rena explains that her husband suddenly came home acting like a completely different person. During dinner, he pulled out a gun and murdered their son before turning on the rest of the family. Rena insists that the man who attacked them wasn't truly her husband. Something had changed him. Only she and Kiana managed to escape. Days later, Kiana disappeared. Jin agrees to help investigate. Following the leads through the dangerous Luna district, Jin eventually discovers something shocking. After speaking with Hatoa from the Martinique, it's revealed that Kiana is alive. She was with them for a short time, before eventually leaving. She's been living under a different identity. She now calls herself Rose and resides at the Remembrance Temple. Jin travels to the temple, a place where he was hesitant to visit, and it's soon revealed why. Greeted at the steps by Jamandah, it is revealed that Jin is Jamandah's brother. Jin explains why he's there and shows Jamandah a photo of Kiana, confirming that the woman known as Rose is the missing daughter. Jin brings Rena to the temple so that the mother and daughter can finally reunite. But the reunion is a trap. Rena suddenly transforms into Pia, a deadly shape-shifting assassin working for Madam Lyra. Pia immediately attacks, shooting Rose and violently fighting everyone in the room. Jamandah and Rain unleash powerful energy attacks, while Jin attempts to subdue the assassin. But Pia reveals just how dangerous she truly is. Using Jin's blood, she morphs into Jin himself. After a brutal fight, Pia escapes. The truth becomes clear. The mysterious murders Jin has been investigating were the work of a shape-shifting assassin claiming innocent people. And the person behind it is none other than Madam Lyra. Elsewhere, Madam Lyra meets with the Sire Cloud, confirming that her plans are moving forward faster than expected. She orders him to continue searching for Phoenix Flame and warns him not to interfere with the operation targeting the temple. That task has already been assigned. Back at the temple, Jamandah attempts something dangerous. She enters Rose's mind through meditation in order to discover why Madam Lyra wants her dead. Inside Rose's memories, Jamandah encounters something terrifying. A mysterious entity has returned. Moonstone. Jamandah is thrown out of the trance. Moments later, Pia returns disguised as Rain and attacks again. When all seems lost, a familiar face intervenes. Evelyn Sky. Evelyn had spent some time away from the temple to heal from the loss of his brother. Upon returning, he's walked into a fight, but the crisis is far from over. Across town, at the Trinity City Security Office, a representative of Valid Towers, Donnie Wolf, arrives for a meeting with the head of security. Upon receiving some unwelcome news, Donnie Wolf destroys the Trinity City Security Office. Meanwhile, Madam Lyra gathers with the secret board of Valid Towers. When the board begins questioning her leadership, Lyra reveals her plan is nearing completion. Within 9 months, she claims they will be standing outside the borders of the Atomic Kingdom itself. She also introduces her new assassin, a flamboyant vampire named Claudius Lavelle. Later, Vin finally has a quiet moment to catch up with Evelyn, who was recently returned after spending some time away following the loss of his brother. But instead of relief, Vin begins to unravel. For the first time, he openly admits how overwhelmed he feels. Now that the Remembrance Temple has been left to him, Vin feels trapped under the weight of his father's legacy. Every decision feels like it has to live up to the man who built the place. And Vin worries that no matter what he does, he's failing. Evelyn listens carefully. During his time away, Evelyn has had a chance to reflect on his own grief and think about what his future might look like. He realizes Vin is looking at the temple the wrong way. To Vin, the temple feels like a monument to his father. But Evelyn reminds him of something important. This place wasn't just his father's temple. It was his father's home. Vin needs to realize that it's Vin's home too. Vin isn't trapped trying to live up to someone else's legacy. It's his turn to add to it. The temple doesn't have to be what it once was. It can become whatever Vin chooses to make it, because the future of the temple now belongs to him. While interrogating Pia, Jamandah loses control. The darkness inside her takes charge and attacks the people around her. To stop her, Jin unleashes a powerful electrical attack. After Jamandah collapses unconscious, Jin finally reveals the truth. When Jamandah was younger, she suffered from violent blackouts caused by a dark entity, Moonstone, living inside her mind. During one of those episodes, she killed her parents. Jin discovered her afterward and managed to stop her using his lightning powers. Realizing she needed protection, he brought her to the temple and left her there so the community could help control her abilities. But now that darkness inside has returned. Madam Lyra meets with a brilliant but unsettling scientist named Dexter Demure. Demure is one of the minds quietly working behind Lyra's growing operation, a man obsessed with pushing the boundaries of science, no matter the moral cost. During their meeting, he presents the progress of his latest work, experiments designed to manipulate and control the human mind. Lyra listens with interest. To her, Demur's research isn't just science, it's a weapon. Dexter has created a machine known as the Drain Machine. While restrained, Pia is interrogated by Vin. She taunts him, morphing into different people he loves and cares of, before finally exploiting his fears about leadership and his father's legacy. Pia breaks free and escapes the temple. Outside, she meets Claudius waiting for her on a motorbike. But instead of rescuing her, Claudius simply shoots her. He reveals Madam Lyra sees her as a failed asset and has already replaced her. As Claudius speeds away, Jin jumps on his own motorbike and begins chasing him down. The hunt has begun. Nobody is safe.